with our next class. In today's class, we are going to discuss the last topic under plant kingdom, that is life cycle pattern of various different types of plant forms. All right. Now see here. See, in plants, formation of haploid and diploid bodies occur because both haploid and diploid cells are able to divide by mitosis. Like the haploid plant body called gametophyte produces gametes by mitosis. After the fertilization, diploid zygote also divides by mitosis to produce the diploid sporophyte, isn't it? That means first it can form, if it is an embryophyte, it will form embryo and then a sporophyte. It then undergoes meiosis to produce haploid spores, which in turn divides by mitosis again to form a haploid plant body once again. So what's happening is gametophyte is again alternated by a sporophyte and back to gametophyte, isn't it? So this is called alternation of generation. All right. This gametophytic phase followed by sporophytic phase, again back to gametophytic phase. This is called alternation of generation. All right. Now let us try to understand life cycle patterns of different plant groups. So we have discussed 5 types of plant groups here: algae, bryophyte, radiophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm. And all the different types of plants, they show different patterns of life cycle. We have discussed all of them under each and every of the topic individually, but then here in an unison, we are going to discuss the life cycle pattern. So let us start with haplontic life cycle. So see, the haplontic life cycle itself marks or itself suggests that here the main phase is haploid. Main plant body is gametophytic or haploid plant body. Alright. So see, the dominant phase in the life cycle is a free-living photosynthetic haploid gametophyte. The sporophytic generation is only represented by diploid zygote. So the only cell that will be formed in such a life cycle, that is diploid, is the zygote. But the zygote also immediately after formation will undergo meiosis. So we call it zygotic meiosis to get back to the haploid state again. Alright. So see here, the zygote undergoes meiosis to form haploid spores, which germinates to form the gametophyte again. So it's as simple as that. Main plant body is gametophytic. The only cell formed during the life cycle, which is diploid, is zygote. The zygote will immediately after formation undergo meiosis, giving rise to haploid spores, which will again germinate and give rise to a gametophyte. So this is mostly observed in algae. Most algae will show haplontic life cycle. Alright. So see here, most algae like Volvox, Spirogyra, some species of Chlamydomonas will show haplontic life cycle. Now, we can show the haplontic life cycle in a flow diagram as well in this manner. Gametophyte, haploid, will undergo gametogenesis. Genesis means formation. So gametogenesis means gamete formation. Okay. So gametophyte will eventually undergo gamete formation or gametogenesis. And when the gametes are formed, they would undergo or they would be undergoing fusion or syngamy. Syngamy means fusion of gametes. Okay. So suppose these are the small gametes which are being formed by gametogenesis, and they would undergo fusion, undergoing syngamy, giving rise to a diploid zygote. The diploid zygote would immediately undergo meiosis, that is zygotic meiosis, giving rise to some haploid spores again, which will germinate and give rise to a gametophyte. Understood that properly? Fine. So gametophytic plant body undergoes gametogenesis, giving rise to gametes, which undergo fusion, that is syngamy, and by syngamy zygote is formed, that's zygotic zygote formation. The zygote would undergo meiosis immediately, called zygotic meiosis, and that would result into haploid spores, and they would germinate, giving rise to gametophyte. So this kind of a life cycle is mostly observed in algae. Fine. Now, moving to another life cycle pattern, that is diploid life cycle or diplontic life cycle. So here again, you know very well the main plant body is going to be diploid, right? So see here, the dominant phase in the life cycle is the photosynthetic independent diploid sporophyte. main phase is sporophyte. Meiosis occurs in the spore mother cell and the gametophytic phase is represented by single to few-celled haploid gametophyte which is short-lived and is dependent on the photosynthetic sporophyte. So mainly in the diplontic life cycle again, the main plant body is sporophytic and in the whole life cycle for a very short period of while, a few haploid cells will be formed, that is the gametes. That would be the gametes. The haploid gametes will be formed. But even the gametes, they would not remain for a very long time. Rather, they would show fusion and after fusion again the diploid state is going to be restored. Alright. So because of that, the life cycle pattern is diplontic here. Alright. And higher plants like all gymnosperms and angiosperms, they show diplontic life cycle. Alright. See here. Example would be all gymnosperms and angiosperms. And among algae, fucus. Fucus is one algae which is an exception and it would show diplontic life cycle. Do remember these exceptions among the algae. It's very important for exam. Okay. So look at the flow diagram again now. For diplontic life cycle, the main plant body is sporophytic or diploid. It would undergo gametogenesis or gamete formation so that the gametes are the only haploid cells formed in the life cycle of the diplontic plant. The gametes would undergo fusion or syngamy, giving rise to diploid state again. So zygote will be formed and by that the zygote would eventually develop into the sporophyte again. Alright. So this is a simple life cycle pattern again observed in all kind of higher plants, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Alright. Finally, moving to the third and the last type of life cycle pattern, that is haplodiplontic life cycle. Here both haploid and diploid phases are equally important. So we call it haplodiplontic life cycle. Alright. So see, it is intermediate type of life cycle where both sporophyte and gametophyte are multicellular, equally dominant and often free living. Alright. In bryophytes, like basically this haplodiplontic life cycle is observed in bryophytes and pteridophytes. All bryophytes and pteridophytes without any exception shows haplodiplontic life cycle. So see here, in bryophytes, the dominant phase is independent gametophyte and alternates with short-lived multicellular sporophyte. Alright. Likewise, in pteridophytes, dominant phase is sporophyte which alternates with short-lived gametophyte. So even if the gametophyte for the pteridophytes is short-lived and for bryophytes the sporophyte is short-lived, but even after that both the plant forms will be multicellular, will have a morphologically distinct feature and would remain in the life cycle for a particular long period of time. It's not going to be very brief while that it would remain. Even if it is short-lived, but then it would remain for a considerable period of time in the life cycle. Alright. That's why we call it haplodiplontic life cycle. Fine. So example of course would be all bryophytes and pteridophytes and there are few exceptions among algae again in this category as well. That is Ectocarpus, Polyciponia, kelp among algae would show haplodiplontic life cycle. Alright. Now moving to the flow diagram. See here, the main plant body if we consider to be sporophytic, in that case, sporophyte would undergo meiosis, giving rise to haploid spores. The spores would germinate, giving rise to a gametophyte. The gametophyte would undergo gametogenesis, that means gamete formation, which will undergo fusion or syngamy, giving rise to a zygote. And the zygote would again give rise to a well-developed sporophyte. So this is where, see, entirely half-half, the cycle can be divided among the haploid and diploid phase. So we call it haplodiplontic life cycle. Alright. So this is all about the plant kingdom chapter. So we come to an end with the chapter here itself. In the next class, we'll start with a new chapter that is cell, the basic unit of life.